We want to take our heels and put them at the level of the ischial tuberosities. If you don't know where that is, make a fist roughly the width of one fist width is going to be the level of your ischial tuberosities. Then we're going to flex our knees as much as we can until the lumbar spine starts to round. As soon as the lumbar spine starts to round, we're going to stop. From here, hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with Team U4Work, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to be your own therapist by demonstrating the top 5 ELDOA exercises for posture correction, and more specifically, I'm going to be teaching you how to correct a rib flare. Before I get on with the exercises, I want to do a quick recap of what exactly a rib flare is and why exactly you should care. And in order to do that, I'm going to need the help of my good friend, Johnny Bones. So Johnny, get over here and show your coastals to the crowd. This right over here is your rib cage, and when you develop a rib flare, it can present in several ways, but two common presentations is going to be an in flare and an out flare. When you develop an in flare, as the name implies, the ribs are going to move in toward the spine, so you're going to get this depression of the rib cage, and then on the lateral aspect, you're going to get this medial tilt or this depression of the lateral aspect of the rib cage where they move in toward the spine. And then an out flare is going to be the opposite. With an out flare, you're going to get this popping out of the rib cage where you're going to get this elevation of the rib cage, and then on the lateral aspect, you're going to get this lateral elevation or this lateral tilt of the rib cage where it moves away from the spine. And if you don't address it, it can lead to things like low back pain and also breathing dysfunction. So you would want to address it immediately. And one of the ways in which we could address it would be to do some strengthening exercises for the muscles that are responsible for depression of the rib cage. We did those a few days ago. I'm going to include a link right up over here to the top 5 strengthening exercises for posture correction to correct a rib flare. And then once you've done those exercises, a terrific complement to those exercises would be some myofascial stretching exercises for the muscles that are responsible for elevation of the rib cage. We did those a couple days ago as well, and I'm going to include a link right up over here to the top 5 myofascial stretching exercises for posture correction to correct a rib flare. Now let's say you've done the strengthening exercises, you've done the myofascial stretching exercises, and you're still not seeing the benefits that you would like to see. Well, a third problem that may arise is you may have nerve dysfunction, and the dysfunction can be to the nerves that are responsible for sending the signal to the muscles that are responsible for depression of the rib cage. So what we can do to address that would be to do some ELDOA exercises for the nerves of the muscles that are responsible for depression of the rib cage. And when we look at the rib depressors, we have the rectus abdominis. That's going to be innervated by the intercostal nerves, and more specifically, the ventral rami of your T7, T8, T9, T10, T11, and T12 nerve roots. Then we have the external oblique. For the external oblique, that's going to also be innervated by the intercostal nerves, and more specifically, the ventral rami of your T7, T8, T9, T10, T11, and T12 nerve roots. Then we have the internal oblique, which is going to be innervated by the intercostal nerves and the ventral rami of your T7, T8, T9, T10, T11, T12, and L1 nerve roots. Then the thoracic diaphragm. For the thoracic diaphragm, that's going to be innervated by the phrenic nerve, more specifically the C3, C4, and C5 nerve roots. So for today, I'm going to be taking you through the ELDOA exercises at those different segments, and the whole reason the ELDOAs are going to be so great is because the whole purpose of an ELDOA is to create space within a joint. So if you have nerve compression, and the nerve compression is the reason for the nerve dysfunction, by creating space, that can help to improve the nerve function, and then the nerves are going to be able to send the proper signal to the muscles to fire properly, and that can improve blood flow and oxygen in the area, and that could also allow the muscles that are responsible for depression of the rib cage to fire properly. So for today, I'm going to be taking you through the T8, T9 ELDOA, the T7, T8 ELDOA, the T6, T7 ELDOA, the C4, C5 ELDOA, and the C3, C4 ELDOA. So without further ado, here are the top 5 ELDOA exercises for posture correction to correct a rib flare. The first ELDOA exercise for posture correction to correct a rib flare is going to be the T8, T9 ELDOA, and for the T8, T9, we're going to be in a seated position. We want to take our heels and put them at the level of the ischial tuberosities. If you don't know where that is, make a fist roughly the width of one fist width is going to be the level of your ischial tuberosities. Then we're going to flex our knees as much as we can until the lumbar spine starts to round. As soon as the lumbar spine starts to round, we're going to stop. From here, we want to create a laminar scat to get maximum myofascial tension in the lower extremity. We're going to do that by raising the big toe up, flattening the medial arch, going into external rotation of tibia, medial rotation of femur, retroversion of pelvis, flat lumbar, flat thoracic, chin tucked in, crown and head up, bicep and down to the floor to put the dura mater under tension with the arms, maximum extension of elbow and wrist, maximum external rotation of shoulder, flex shoulders to level coronal plane, so biceps in line with the ear. We're going up with the palms, up with the crown of the head, keeping those knees together, and this is the T8, T9 ELDOA. Next, the second ELDOA exercise for posture correction to correct a rib flare is going to be the T7, T8 ELDOA. For the T7, T8, once again, we're in a seated position. For this one, we want the heels together. We're going to once again maximally flex the knees until the lumbar spine starts to round. As soon as the lumbar spine starts to round, we're going to stop. We're going to keep those knees together. We got retroversion of pelvis, flat lumbar, flat thoracic, chin tucked in, crown and head up, eyes looking down at the floor to put the dura mater under tension with the arms, maximum extension of elbow and wrist, maximum external rotation of shoulders, flex the shoulders to level coronal plane, so biceps in line with the ear, and then we're going to lower the arms to the level of the glenohumeral angle. If you don't know where that is, depending on everybody's morphology, it's going to be a little bit different, but anywhere from 90 to 180 135 degrees. For the average person, when your arms are fully extended and the palms at the level of your forehead are slightly higher, that's going to be the level of your glenohumeral angle. But we're pressing away at the level of the glenohumeral angle, pushing up with the crown of the head, keeping those knees together, and this is the T7, T8 ELDOA. Next, the third ELDOA exercise for posture correction to correct a rib flare is going to be the T6, T7 ELDOA. For the T6, T7, once again, we're in a seated position, and for this one, we're going to cross our legs. We got retroversion of pelvis, flat lumbar, flat thoracic, chin tucked in, crown of head up, eyes looking down at the floor to put the dura mater under tension with the arms, maximum extension of elbows. We want to take the fingertips, and we're going to apply a gentle pressure. You don't want to press it too hard, just enough that if you had a piece of paper in between, you'd be able to easily slide it in and out. We're then going to flex the shoulders to level prone plane, so biceps in line with the ear. We're going up with the palms, up with the crown of the head, pushing those knees down toward the floor, and this is the T6, T7 ELDOA. Next, the fourth ELDOA exercise for posture correction to correct a rib flare is going to be the C4, C5 ELDOA. For the C4, C5, we're going to be in a supine position, meaning you're going to be laying down your back. You're going to go ahead and flex your hips and knees until the sacrum lifts up off the ground. You're going to go into dorsiflexion of ankle by pointing your toes toward your head. Eversion of ankles by pointing the soles of your feet away from each other. We got retroversion of pelvis, flat lumbar, flat thoracic, chin tucked in, crown head away, eyes looking down between your thighs to put the dura mater under tension. For this one, we're going to go into maximum extension of elbow and wrist, maximum external rotation of shoulder. We're going to project our palms upward. In this one, we want them perpendicular to the ground, so at 90 degrees. At the head, we want to raise our head 2 centimeters off the ground. If you don't know where that is, roughly to the width of 2 fingertips. So take 2 fingertips, put it underneath your head, and this is the C4, C5 ELDOA. Next, the fifth and final ELDOA exercise for posture correction to correct a rib flare is going to be the C3, C4 ELDOA. Very similar for this one. Only thing that's going to change is the arm position. So we're in a supine position. Flex the hips and knees until the sacrum lifts up off the ground. Keep the abdominals relaxed. Go into dorsiflexion of ankles, eversion of ankles. We got retroversion of pelvis, flat lumbar, flat thoracic, chin tucked in, crown and head up. Eyes looking down between your thighs to put the dura mater under tension with the arms. Maximum extension of elbow and wrist, maximum external rotation of shoulders, and then we're going to lower the shoulders so that they're at 45 degrees. We're pressing away, and then at the head, once again, 2 centimeters off the ground. So take 2 fingertips, and this is the C3, C4 ELDOA. And there you have it. Those were the top 5 ELDOA exercises for posture correction to correct a rib flare. If you have a rib flare, or if you have issues with regard to low back pain, or if you have any type of breathing dysfunction, go ahead and give those exercises a try. And if you have given them a try, go ahead and drop your comments down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought of the exercises. In terms of the structure for the entire program, what you want to do, first you're going to start with the strengthening exercises. For the strengthening exercises, you're going to do 3 sets of 50 repetitions, and that's 5-0, not 1-5. The whole reason we're going so high with the repetitions is because we're trying to elicit a postural change. Whenever we're trying to elicit a postural change, one of the most important things is going to be accumulating enough time under tension. And if we do the typical 8 to 12 bodybuilding repetition rep range, we're not going to be able to accumulate that time under tension. So 3 sets of 50 repetitions is what you want to do for the strengthening exercises. Then, after the strengthening exercises, you're going to do the myofascial stretching exercises. For the myofascial stretches, you want to do 3 sets of a 30-second hold every single day. And the reason we're doing them every single day is because, once again, we're trying to elicit that postural change. So if we only do the stretches once a week or once a month, we're not going to be able to accumulate that time under tension. So 3 sets of 30 seconds every single day is what you want to do. And then you're going to finish off with the ELDOA postures. For each of the ELDOA postures, what you want to do is 1 set of a 60-second hold, and that is 60 seconds from the time you get into the final posture, not 60 seconds from the time that you start to set up. And once again, we can do them every single day because, once again, we're trying to elicit that postural change. If you have any questions at all with regard to anything that I discussed over the course of the last week, go ahead and drop your questions down in the comment section so I can help you guys out. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to keep making these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.